You're rolling.
All right. Well, let's just say good afternoon again so I can capture it on video. I am Ayanna Castro. I'm the founder and chief maven of Ayanna Castro Consulting and the creator of Work Your Package. And I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to see so many people here, right? So the day's talk, 15 minutes, this is a hit and quit it for you. The day's talk is extraordinary, does not happen by accident. And this is a very small part of a keynote that I deliver often. But I wanted to share this with you really quick because I think it really resonates with the attendees at this particular conference. So the first statement I'm going to say, and I'm going to repeat it at the end, you already have everything you need to be extraordinary. The question is, are you using it? And I want you to sit in it for a quick second. Just sit with it for a minute, marinate with it. Because all too often we're waiting for permission. I had a brain date yesterday and I was sat with some amazing people who were waiting for permission. You don't have to wait for permission. You're already extraordinary. You're already great. You don't have to wait for that right time. You don't have to wait for something that's missing, because here's the thing. What if the thing that you think is missing is already here? That thing is you. So I realized when I was speaking, I was actually in Johannesburg and I was speaking in front of this room of incredible professionals. And the one thing that I realized is that they weren't lacking talent, they weren't lacking drive, they weren't lacking anything. They were just waiting for permission. And when I told them what I'm telling you now, extraordinary is not a destination, it's a decision. It's not a destination, it's a decision that you make every single day. So I'm gonna go through 4 things to help you make that decision every single day. The first thing is listening to the little birdie. Now, the little birdie is that little voice. It's that nagging voice. When you were younger, your parents told you, don't touch that, that's hot. As you got older, you worked with people that say, don't talk to them, they're crazy. As you were in relationships, you realized he's toxic, she's toxic, whatever. But then at some point, you stopped listening to that little voice. You got influenced by this external noise that kept telling you what you knew to be true was wrong. I want to tell you this one thing. If you have to ask the question, you already know the answer. The little birdie is never, ever, 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 ever going to lie to you. Ever. And I want you to take a minute to think about, when was the last time the little birdie said something to you and you ignored it? What happened? You found out that they were crazy, you stayed in a toxic relationship, you burned yourself and you cut your hand. Because you just didn't want to listen to the little birdie. I am pretty sure my little birdie is sick of me and my self-imposed shenanigans. This I know for certain and for sure, because I'm hard-headed. Even at my old age, I am hard-headed. I don't always listen. But this is one thing that I have developed over time. My voice is my intuition. It's what I know to be true. It is also my inner strategist. It is my best assistant. It tells me everything that I already know to be true, and it's just a confirmation. So when I'm stuck, that is what I resort back to. So again, I'm gonna ask you, what is your little birdie telling you? What is it saying? Is it saying that you need to speak up more in those staff meetings? Is it saying that you need to have a heart-to-heart with your manager to say, hey, I know you think I'm fabulous, I know you think I'm great. I am great, I am fabulous. However, comma, I can't take on another project. I can't put another thing on this platter because we're beyond a plate. A plate is nice and round. We're at platters. Some of us are at serving steam pans right now, right? But we don't want to have the conversation to say, I would love to continue to make this team great. I love being the person that makes you look fantastic in front of the board. And in order for me to continue to operate at that stature, I need you to sit down with me so that we can look through these things that's on my serving platter and prioritize. I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm saying that in order for me to do it to the expectation that you have of me and of myself, we need to have a conversation. That's the little birdie. So once you start listening to your little birdie, tweet, 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 now you need support. You need somebody to come in and support you. And I'm not talking about the cheerleaders, like, you go girl, you do it, yeah. No. I'm not talking about the bobbleheads, the ones that, yes, you go, you're right. No, I'm not talking about those either. I'm talking about the people who challenge you, stretch you, and remind you who you are when you forget. Those people, the people that irk your last nerve, because you know they're right. You know that they are right. But here you are, no. Let me tell you, my board of directors get on my nerves so bad. And I love them thickly, okay? They cross the gamut. I have people who are 10 years older than me, 20 years older than me, 20 years younger than me. I have male, I have female. I have people who have PhDs to people who just barely got out of high school. I have people who are entrepreneurs and people who sit in the C-suite. I have a diverse set of people on my personal board of directors. They all have one thing in common. They will not accept mediocrity from me. At all. Mediocrity to them is profanity. It's a cuss word. So anytime it looks like I'm about to settle, guess what? They don't buy that at all. What you need to do is understand that your legacy is not built by yourself. Your legacy is built with a community. So while you're here today and this week and you're surrounded by other amazing admins, start building that community. Because your board of directors may not necessarily be somebody who sits in your cubicle next to you or in the office next to you. It might be somebody in a different country, in a different state. You never know where your board of directors is going to land. 3 of mine are sitting here. They're all over the country. One is across seas. But I'm so happy when she's here, because I get to love up on her and she tells me the good truth. Get people who tell you the good truth, even when it's painful. The third thing is, you need to be practical about this, because now you're listening to Liberty, you're having conversations with your board of directors, they're getting you lined up, they're getting you straight. Does anybody know what 168 stands for? 168 is the number of hours you have in a week. That's it and that's all. Nobody gets more. You can't buy any more. You can't put it on Klarna or FlexPlay. You can't do any of that. Okay? You can't buy anymore. How are you using your 168 hours? How are you using them? And I ask my clients this when I work with them, when I work with different teams, because when you start tracking your 168, you get to see where the gaps are and where your time leak is. You can't buy back time. Your time is valuable. Your legacy is built on how you spend your time. When you start auditing where you put your time, it will show you what is keeping you from what you claim is important. So if you say, I really want to get out, I really want to go exercise, I really want to, but if you start tracking your time, you can clock 20 hours that you went scrolling through Netflix or, TikTok or whoever it is. I really want to create this administrative team at my organization, but instead of having quick lunches, 30-minute check-ins with people from different departments and brainstorming, you're going to the Target to go wander the aisles because that's easier than screaming because you're stressed out because you don't have an admin team. Do you understand how that works? So make sure that you're auditing your time. When you audit it, make sure that your hours are aligned to your goals and also aligned to your values and your vision. Because if it's not, then it's really time to shift. The fourth thing that I want to share with you, and I'm actually teaching about this on Wednesday, I believe, is mind mapping. Do you have an organized way to get through your ideas? Mind mapping is really easy in theory, but it does take a little bit of discipline to get it done. I have a mind map that's just for my own personal stuff, right? And it has really broad statements. There's self-care, there's health, there's family, there's legacy, there's work. But under each one, there's an action item, there's intention, and there's some clarity. So for example, one of my subsections is girls. I have 2 girls. I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old. They're on their way to hopefully, God forbid, one day, please be out the house. But in the meantime, where they're still with me, I want to keep creating memories with them. So I thought about how can I create memories with these adult girls, right? My oldest has a thing about museums. So one day I was just like, okay, fine. What do you want? Can we go to the Natural History Museum? Now I'm from Maryland. I'm thinking she's talking about DC. No, ma'am. She was talking about the one in New York. Oh, okay. So I made it work. And how did I do that? I mind mapped everything. And that included work. Sometimes you have to look at the things that make up your life and see how they interconnect. So I knew I couldn't go during the spring because at work I got some heavy projects in the spring. I knew I couldn't go during the summer because that's typically when we do the big family vacation. When was the best time to go? In the fall, right before I get slammed with the winter projects. I wouldn't have had that clarity, I wouldn't have had that intention without the mind maps. This is where I want you to ponder a little bit. You've heard about the little birdie, you heard about your board of directors, you've heard about your 168, and now you heard about the mind mapping, where you really have to be intentional with your stuff. If you feel a shift, if you had an aha moment, if you had a, oh, or as we like to say, you had to clutch your pearls because something resonated with you, what are you going to do to make the shift? What are you going to do to move it? The fact that you're here tells me one thing. You are focused and dedicated about your personal development, your professional development. You're about learning and moving things forward. People who have absolutely no desire to become extraordinary, they sit at home and complain, why does she get to go? We all left people at the office who said that. Why do they get to go? Because I'm focused on my focus. That's why. Because I have intention and I have clarity. You don't need more credentials. I know some people are going to say, you don't need more credentials. You do not need more time. You need clarity and courage and a strategy that honors your voice and your legacy of who you are. That is what you need. Extraordinary is not a destination. It is a decision that you make every single day. And you already have everything that is that you need to be extraordinary. So, I encourage you to go ahead and work your package. And I encourage you to start building that legacy, your legacy, that your organizations and your companies benefit from. Because your legacy is yours. You are not building a legacy for somebody else. That's the other thing. When you decide that this legacy is for you, you show up differently. And that's what I want for all of you, to show up different. That's it, and that's all I got. Does anybody have questions? Yes, ma'am. Is it normal not to be extraordinary? No. Ma'am? What? Okay, are you an administrative professional?
Yes.
How long have you been admin?
Since 2019.
Okay, how many people do you support?
46.
46 people. So, okay, come to the front. Come to the front. Because I need to understand, how do you believe that if it's not normal to be extraordinary? Are you saying you're not extraordinary?
No,
Okay, clarify that for me.
No, it's not about me. It's about some people that think that not everyone should be extraordinary, and being like not unique, extraordinary, and living like, the simple life makes them more happier than, being a CEO and someone else.
Oh, so you equate title with extraordinary?
Yes.
No. Extraordinary is you being truthful to who you are and showing up authentically that way every single day. I worked with a whole bunch of C-suite people. You know what I realized? The C-suite does not give anybody common sense, clarity, or compassion. Okay? So because of that, I was extraordinary just having to manage up, to manage expectations, unrealistic expectations. I am fabulous at what I do. I was an amazing admin. I started my journey as being a social worker and went back to admin because it was easy to do, right? I didn't know that I would have to coach up. I had no idea. But without being an admin, there's no way in the world I would be standing here now as an HR generalist and an employee engagement program manager at the 8th largest water utility in the United States with over 1,800 employees. There's no way. It doesn't come with a title. I was extraordinary before I got this title. You're extraordinary without a title. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Well, that's fantastic. I hope y'all feel inspired. Have an amazing evening. Thank you so much for coming. I know it's late in the day. I hope that you join me at my sessions. Tomorrow I'm doing administrative team building, and then on Wednesday I am doing mind mapping, and I'm really going to get into the mind mapping thing. I'm going to get into it because I want everybody to leave out of here with tools that they can use to be absolutely extraordinary at work and not giving two dead flies smashed about a title. Okay? All right. Thank you.